Hello, and welcome to episode 125 of the Flosstube, the Yarnivore Flosstube, which, if you are returning from the knitting podcast, welcome back. If you are new, or if you just watched the Flosstube, welcome. We have a peanut gallery here today. I have no idea where to put my books. My mom is here. She is currently cross-stitching. Would you like to make an appearance?
Sure.
We'll show her one more time. Whee! Hold up what you're doing. You can't see that very well, but there it is.
Here we go.
You can also see her in the mirror there, which I found out as I was recording last time. She is doing the Home Sweet Home, free from... She's going to let me use this for a moment here. She's doing this, the Home Sweet Home. It's the free kit that comes with Cross Stitch Crazy. Does it say which one it is? Where does it say? August, the August edition of Cross Stitch Crazy.
It's my favorite.
Currently working on that. We have a Petrie right there, peeping, as peeps are wont to do. Well, come on. Meow. She stole the show last week when she hopped up and decided to get some lovin's. I don't know if she'll decide she needs lovin's again. Meow. Oh my. You're gonna scare off Kelly's cats. We also have a Bebop who is currently crashed out at Mom's feet. Because if we're in here, everybody's in here, except for Frank, who wants nothing to do with us. Hi, my pea. Come here, my pea. No. Oh, no. I tried to touch her. We're in trouble. And off she goes with Frank. So, I have no finished objects. None. Nada. Zilch. Although I have had a fair amount of work done this week, I just have not been able to complete anything. Possibly because I'm also doing a quilt, which, by the way, will take up a lot of time if you let it. Spent yesterday quilting, and we'll probably do some more this afternoon, maybe? I don't know. Depends on if Mom wants to go out today or not. So one of the things I'm working on... Oh, crap, that is really not good. I don't know what happened there, but that bugs me. I am going to have to... Well, I'm going to have to perform surgery on that after this. I'm just going to move that if I can. I worked on Terra Australis, which is this one. And it is going to be a Christmas gift for my brother and his wife. And I finished this little... whatever you'd call it. Area? Piece? Motif. I finished that motif. I have 3 more motifs. This is out of my hand-dyed silks, which I've done. The gray-red is Temptress, and the purple is Purple Haze. And I'm not sure if you can pick it up on the camera, but I hit a snag. There's a snag right in here that I will have to fix. But I did pick up a snag nabbit, so that should be enough to get that little bugger home where it needs to be. Once it is completed, once I've finished the other 3 motifs, I will mount it stylistically somehow. Probably on canvas or a wood block, and that will be that. I will do another one, but I won't for a while. I will use the same piece of... I'm telling you, like, I'm very assertive today. I will do this. Or what is it? If you don't point, you do the thumb thing if you're a politician. I'm not a politician, but that is supposed to be less intimidating than pointing or doing the slicey choppiness. I like the slicey chop because I watched a lot of Flintstones. But I'm going to do another one in different colors for my other brother and his wife, and I'm going to use the same piece of fabric because you don't need a lot of fabric. Like, I mean, that's the whole motif. Even if I cut out like several inches around it, I still have like way big piece. So totally not worried about that. Totally not. I will have enough to do the other one, and those will be their Christmas presents because that's how I roll. And quite frankly, the quilt that I'm doing will probably serve for at least 3 Christmases or birthdays. I'm pretty sure I can get 3 out of that. What do you think, Mom?
I think so.
Like, this thing is massive. Okay, I'll just take a minute here and say I'm doing a king size quilt out of Grateful Dead t-shirts with specialty fabric in between.
It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous, but it's a beast. All of the t-shirts had to be cut and ironed, and then I had to back them. They're all extra large t-shirts, right? So you have to cut the decals properly. FYI, that took a long ass time. And then I'd start piecing them together. I've evened everything out, so now it's ready to get, like, all the things are ready to be assembled, and I've started assembling them, but man, the top of this quilt has taken me a long time, and I can't do it when my chest is buggy or when it's inflamed or whatever. So there have been long periods where I have not been able to do anything about it because even the act of like cutting the pieces out hurt. So it'll probably be the last quilt I quilt for a while because it's so massive. It's a king size. Like, it's bigger than my living room. I'm going to have to take it outside to pin the batting and the backing onto it because I don't have a space big enough for that. We live in a tiny house. It's not a certifiable tiny house, but it is a very small house. And I think we have 1,000 square feet. That's not a tiny house by any means, but none of the rooms are big enough to necessitate a king-size bed or a king-size blanket for that matter. So I will be out on the front lawn at some point pinning this together, and my neighbors will look on and probably come and talk to me because my neighbors are well, actually I got really cool neighbors, but they'll want to know what the heck is going on, why I'm flailing around on the ground in front of the house. What are you doing? The other thing that got a fair bit of work is my Growlithe / Arcanine. Growlithe is done. The box for the Arcanine is completed. I'm about to start him. Look at how cute the Growly is. I kind of screwed up on a couple of things, but you can't tell it all because he's so adorable. So adorables. So adorables. Once he's done, I will probably move on to doing the Evolutions because I think the Evolutions are adorable as well. And I have all of the Evolutions in Pokemon Go. I do. And I'm sorry I forgot what the person's name is on Etsy that I got that, but it is in last week's episode as I showed it. There's Frank's butt as she waddles off. And I think I'll be done next week, and then I'll tell you, and I will show you, and I'll start Evolutions probably. The other thing that got some love this week, which was put away for a while, is back in rotation, is the Quick Stitch Bubble Fairy Cat Face, or as I call her, Whimsy. She is by Carrie Hawks, done by Heaven and Earth Design. She's ridiculous. I've decided just a she. It may be the eyelashes. That may be why. And here's something I noticed while I was stitching this. And I'm using a needle minder that Pam sent to me, my friend Pam from Minnesota, who apparently I've started a craze in Minnesota with my old knitting group, whom I miss and love. And now they're turning into a bunch of stitchers. I have created monsters, all kinds of monsters, and I completely accept the blame. And don't feel bad about it at all. Okay, so see this? See this here? And here's the picture. Now in this picture, if you look closely, and I'm sorry for the glare, you can see whiskers. Now the entire time I was stitching this, I could not for the life of me see a whisker, because you're working up close and you're like, I don't know, there's no whiskers, they are completely on glue. But if you hold it back here, you can completely see where the whiskers are. and I think it was Mrs. Milky Bar Kid before she stopped recording, who said that sometimes you'll be stitching on them and you'll be like, no, this doesn't make any sense, or this is so wrong, or this is going to look really bad. But what you have to do is like remove it from your face, like distance it so you can see, like, because I can see the whiskers now in the monitor. And you can see the whiskers too, but if I hold it up really the closer I get, the less you can tell it's whiskers, because they're so faint. They're lost in there. Now that you've seen them, you can't unsee them. But like back here, you can see a lot more stuff than you can up close, which I find very interesting. I find it really, really interesting, and I have no idea why that is so interesting to me, but it is. I've almost finished column 4. This column. I have this little bit down here left to go. The top is completed up to that little dot. That one and down is where I have to finish, and then I will be moving over. I'm almost caught up to where I had gone kind of weird, so I think this will clean it up. Because my problem is I lost count somewhere in here improperly. So I think bringing it back will be helpful. Still really enjoying stitching on her. She's a quick stitch. I don't know why, like, I mean, the word quick should not be involved in Heaven and Earth Designs, because this thing is huge. To me, personally. Like, I'm not used to stitching the massive pieces. But 150 by 106, which is what this is full coverage is a large piece to me. Particularly when you hit the confetti versions. But can we just have a moment to talk about Heaven and Earth? Because I ordered my husband the Max Color supersized kit of the Dragons and the Planets by Rob Carlos. It's huge. It's 999 stitches wide and 500 and some stitches high. It is a behemoth of a pattern. Wow. Okay. The kits are expensive, but they are completely worth it when you realize just how much stuff is involved. Like, the piece of fabric in and of itself is so big, it frightens me. And we got him Magic Guide. He's doing 2/1 on 25 count. And it's gonna look great, but, like, seriously, there's like a handful of one color, because there's that much color, of that color. Like, what? 239 He wanted it. He is excited for it. He's going to stitch it. He is going to love it. It's going to cost us probably double what it cost to get it, to frame it. Because it is so big. But that will be his pièce de résistance. And he is looking forward to taking that on the ship. Which he is going to get his own backpack for it. Because that's how much, like, he wanted it to take it on the ship. And then now he's seen how much stuff there is and how big it is. He's a little frightened. But he's taking it anyway because I will force him to. He doesn't need to take any books though, because he's got enough on his Kindle. And see, I buy the hard regular books, the books with pages, and he buys them on Kindle, so that's how we even out. But yeah, no. Heaven and Earth? I didn't know that they were that insane. And now that I do, I see why they cost so much money. Although I completely get why Tracy said she would rather pay the money to Heaven and Earth, because kitting up 239 colors I think would have killed me. Like, more power to the people who do it for a living, because I am not that person. Although there's a kit from Gecko Rouge I do want to get. And I believe that they're probably pretty similar, in theory. They just do different styles, and I am more, like, my husband is very into the Heaven and Earth, and I am very into Heaven and Earth in some things, but I find that Gecko Rouge really has the dark stuff I prefer. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling, but that is all I've been working on this week, which is still a lot more than I worked on last week. I have no haul, but as the Evergreen Needle spoke of, there is a store in Issaquah, and I think we're going to be going there this week. Hubby has some time off. Mom Mom is over here smirking at me because she know I've been talking about going there since before she came. I'm like, no, we're going. We'll go spend a day in Seattle. We'll do Pike Place. We haven't taken you to the Steelhead Cafe, have we?
No.
There's this place called the Steelhead Cafe, whatever. It's off the market. It's a couple blocks off the market. And they serve poutine. Now, it is not the best poutine, but it is the closest thing to poutine I have found without making it myself. They do use real squeaky cheese, the curd, the squeaky curd, and the brown gravy. And it comes in a big plate. Not half as big a plate as you would get in Canada for half the price, but it's what you gotta do if you want poutine and you aren't willing to drive to Vancouver. But we might take Mom there. They also have some really great other foods. And then we'll drive out to Issaquah on the way home. We are going to go to Tacoma and do the mall there and do the Skechers outlet possibly this weekend because hubby doesn't care. But so, yes, there will be haul next week. There will be haul. Oh, yes, because I'm going to that store. And I will see the mirrors. And I don't know that I will be as restrained as Kelly because I don't have to be right now. My mommy's here. And she's laughing at me because she knows it's true. We'll go back to living like paupers once Mom has gone. That and I save on shipping if I buy at the store, right? There are a million different things I can use to just let me get my justification on. We're stocking up for the eventual end times. Not that we're end of daysers or anything, but we figure we'll be poor at some point, so we better stock up on our hobbies now. And that is enough rambling. I have nothing else to report to you, but I will see you next week. I promise you all. And until then, happy stitching.